Hello everybody, I hope they are good. Quick Bitcoin update for today. Today's Friday and we only really have the New York session before the weekend. So we're going to talk about the weekly candle close, what could happen. And of course don't expect much to happen over the weekend because we are usually in a very tight range of a couple $100 and not much going on over the weekend. So we're also going to talk about potential trade setup that it should happen today. Otherwise, if it doesn't get completed today, then we're going to close the trade, or that's at least what I'm going to do, because I want to enjoy the weekend and I know that in the weekend I'm not going to see much activity. Okay, so let me tell you what I think so far. Okay, this is your range highs, range lows, mid range. The orange lines are the range quarters, and we had the deviation that we talked about between 31,800 and 31,700, because there were many liquidations up there and also stop losses. Then when you see the deviation, that deviation gets confirmed once price gets back inside the range and consolidates a bit here. This is what happened here, okay? That's when you can take a short and you're gonna aim for a breakout at the other end of the range. Okay, you can notice here that's our breakout, but the only thing is that it's consolidating here and it keeps testing the 4 hour 50 MA, that's the purple line, as resistance, but it doesn't dump. Okay, this is what I was talking about also in the Sunday update. That's weird. Okay, so that's what it was telling me this week, that it was very likely to see a Monday's false move here, okay, to the downside, to fill this week over here and also the 50% of this week, and then a pump. That's a short squeeze above the 4 or 50 MA. That's what happened if you notice. All right, fill this week over here, there you go, and then come back lower to the range lows. I don't know what I've just done. All right, to the range lows. And that's pretty much what's happened, okay? Now, the thing is that if you go into the weekly time frame, you're gonna notice how we're still below the range lows. The range lows are 29,525. So today's going to be a very important day in the markets. Well, also, I don't know if you want to see some kind of false move on Saturday or Sunday, but today is quite a decisive day. Also, on Sunday is when this candle closes. So if you want to be bullish, then you need to see the weekly candle closing above the range lows, okay? To get back inside the range, and then once it's back inside the range, you can aim for the mid-range and also higher, okay? And in fact, you have this week over here. You got me? But if we have a weekly candle close below the range lows, that's not great, because you've had then two weekly candles testing the range lows as resistance, and maybe you have to consolidate here even more or even have a drop before coming back up. Okay, so that's something I'm going to discuss in the Bitcoin Sunday update on Twitter. So let's see how that evolves. And then yesterday I couldn't upload a video because I was out, I was busy, but I posted a couple of charts in Telegram and in Discord. They are free, by the way, so feel free to join. You have the links in the description. And we were talking about the idea that this is your main support in the 1 hour time frame, this low time frame, okay? That's your support over there. Let me change the color. Okay. And by the way, also notice how the range, this range quarter, this orange line has been acted as resistance for quite a while. Can you see how they set the wicks to that level and then they drop? Also, it's probably because it's a psychological number. It's exactly 30,000. Okay, so that's also probably why. But anyway, if you go back into the 1 hour time frame, this is our support. And yesterday I shared two scenarios for Bitcoin. Okay, one of them was, we were around here. One of them was a drop below this resistance, consolidate a bit, and then you're gonna have another leg lower, okay? And maybe you could even target these lows over here. And the other scenario was to see a stop hunt. That's basically this candle over here, okay? Pay attention to this candle. That's your stop hunt. Get back above it. Test this support again. You can even consolidate a bit more. And then that's when you can long. And if you get back above the 1 hour 50 MA and the range lows and test it as support, that's another long trigger. and you can aim higher. Where to? Well, you have here this liquidity pool over there. Okay, so this is the scenario that I'm looking at right now. Again, I don't know if today we might see quite a boring day, but if we see some activity, then I hope it's something like this. Okay, so far we've seen the stop hunt, then we reclaim this level, test it as support. I'm long at exactly 39,352 because I was targeting also the 50% of this week. Okay, and let's see how this plays out. Right now price is at 29,440. It hasn't really moved much, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to see some activity today, but what I'm expecting to see is a push higher, hopefully, test it as support. If that happens today, well, it should happen pretty quickly, but if that happens today, that's another place where you could trigger a long, and then you could aim to this liquidity pool over here. Now, the question is it likely that this happens today? I'm not sure. To be honest, I would have liked to see some more action during the Asian session and during the London session. If you notice, they've been holding above here, so that's something that is not great, to be honest. Okay, you would have want to see, because this is the stop hunt yesterday in the New York session. Okay, then they reclaimed this level in the Asian session was the support, and then that's when you want to see an immediate reaction to the upside. So in my opinion, today we should already be here at 29,600, and right now we're at 29,400. So that's something that I don't really like. I have my stop loss quite tight, so let's see what happens. But if we see another hit over here, then I'm gonna be out of the trade, and if it's very small risk, and if we see a push here, then I might just take profits instead in this liquidity pool over here. Right, around 29,650 or so. So that's what I'm looking at today. I'm not looking at this target for today. Again, I'm looking something more like this. I'm not expecting that much going on if it happens, because we've been consolidating in the Asian and in the London session. Right, so I hope that's clear. I hope that's clear. And don't let me forget, once the New York session is finished, no matter what's happened, I'm closing the trade. Okay, I'm not gonna have a trade open during the weekend. That's clear for me. So if we are again if break even, then I'll just break even. If I'm a bit here, then I'll break at a very small loss. And if we are around here, then I'll close a trade a small profit. Okay, but that's pretty much what I think. I think that it could be a boring day. So far has been a boring day. Okay, but if we see some kind of action, then hopefully it's a push higher. Okay, that's what I'm looking for today. Not much going on, to be honest. I cannot tell you that much more because there is not much going on happening for Bitcoin at the moment. So I would suggest you to keep an eye on the weekly candle close on Sunday. That's going to be quite important. Also in the daily time frame, if you notice, we're also below the range lows. We failed to test it as support, but we are above the daily 50 MA. So right now we are above some kind of support. Okay, maybe you see some more consolidation here, and then you can see a breakout. Okay, so it's not looking too bad. Okay, of course it was looking worse here, but then with all of this consolidation, then it was clear that we want to see a short squeeze, and now it's a shame that we didn't manage to hold above the range lows, but at least we have the 50 MA. So let's see what develops next. Okay, that's going to be quite important. Then if we go into the S&P, let me go to the futures. There we go. Wow. Okay. If you remember, I'm in the daily time frame. Yes. If you remember, we were talking about an idea of a deviation. Okay. That deviation could happen in either of these two levels, either at this level at 4,580 or up here at 4,720. Right. The first level, we've already seen the deviation happening there. Okay. That's your deviation. Also, this was signaling a strong support that should hold. So far we've lost it. We have here the daily 50 MA. So let's see what happens. Okay, if we get to test the daily 50 MA support and get back above this support, then you can long here again, aiming for this level over here. Otherwise, if we drop again and lose the daily 50 MA, then you're gonna have some kind of a fun trip all the way to this gap over here. Okay, that's a gap in price, if you notice. So that's what I'm looking right now for the S&P. Bitcoin should follow. Okay, Bitcoin should follow. And also the dollar index. Oh, sorry, I don't know what I've done there. In the dollar index, again, know what's going on. You have here the 3 taps pattern. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 taps with the deviation. Also below the psychological level of 100, so we went to 99.3. Then you have their reaction. We are holding above the daily 50 MA, so far it's looking good, to be honest. The problem that I see is that we have a wick over here. Okay, so that means that maybe on Monday or Tuesday we come lower to fill this week, test again the daily 50 MA, and maybe that's when you can see the real push, if there is a push. And also I want you to pay attention to what happened yesterday during CPI. CPI data yesterday, it was worse than last month, but it was slightly better than expected. Okay, because last month it was at 3%. We were expecting a spike to 3.3%, and it actually came out at 3.2%. So again, it was worse than last month, but better than expected. So really, when that happens, you see a false move. You can see that in the dollar index and sometimes also in Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't give that false move, but the dollar index did. Check this out. So if I'm correct, then yeah, that's Thursday at 12 and 1. So 12:30 is when the CPI data came out. You can notice here what happened. They sold before the CPI data, and then once CPI data came out, they spiked price up again. Okay, and recovered all these zones. So that's your false move for the dollar index. Now you can see that it's pumping, and maybe today I'm leaning more towards probably next week. Okay, but today maybe we can see this liquidity pool over here getting filled. You can see that they've already done a big job because they've filled already this zone over here. Okay, but so far you have 1, 2, and I don't want this to become a third tap to the upside and a dump. Okay, they have to break out through this level and fill the entire liquidity pool. But so far there is not much left. All right, so that's so far what I'm looking in the charts. Again, it's Friday, the weekend is around the corner, so don't expect too much. Okay, don't expect too much. So that's pretty much everything, guys. Keep an eye on the weekly candle close, if you close above or below the range lows. And then for today, this is a trade idea that I have in my mind. Again, I've already entered. I said yesterday in Telegram and Discord. And I don't know if it's going to play out because so far it's been quite slow. Okay, but if something happens during the New York session, hopefully it's a push higher. Okay, that's what I'm keeping an eye on for today. So be very careful with your leverage. Don't go too crazy because there is not much going on. Try to have your positions closed over the weekend and enjoy the weekend, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.